Hello, everybody. Welcome to 50-50 Booking. And it is the Idiot's Guide to Wrestling Part 2. Because we don't have Aaron this week, because Aaron is off doing things in the world where, basically real life stuff, So hopefully that'll go. But obviously, Aaron should be back next week. We will still be doing the reviews and everything. I will start those because I will, and I'll go through those. But before we are joined by this one here, I am just going to go through all the fun bits and pieces. So obviously our Patreon is here, guys. You want to help us out? Check out the links below. See what you want to like and give it a click. You can also check out our Twitter and our Insta, and of course my company's Instagram. And my guest for this episode, which is this one, which is Stephanie. So you guys can check all those things out there. Okay. Yes, this being the Idiot's Guide to Wrestling, we will be a bit more general and more broad than normal about stuff. I am going to run down all the shows that took place this week. We are also going to talk about Bray Wyatt and his release, which we'll do it at the end of the show. So, as it comes up beforehand, but that is the idea and the plan anyway. So, I will start off with Raw because that's how the week starts. And I've sort of circumvented these to make these much more chewable and palatable because we don't have Aaron here who's much more in depth from watching these things than what my guest will be. So I've just pretty much clipped out the important things to mention. We had a match between Damian Priest and Sheamus to earn and if Priest won, he earns a shot at the champion. The champion is Sheamus, by the way. Which Priest won, so basically Priest is going to have another match with Sheamus, this time for the belt. I think these are dumb. There are better ways to earn a title shot than beating the champion. I think they're stupid. And it doesn't matter which company does them, I still think they're stupid. Yeah. I mean, the match was alright, though. But, yeah, I don't like these builds. I think they're bad. We had an AJ Omos and Viking Raiders rematch again. Well, yeah. AJ and Omos won. Again, not surprising at all. So, yeah. We had a match between Drew McIntyre and Veer. This ended in a contest. Apparently, it's the official result for this match, even though on the thing it was given as a disqualification, which occurred when Drew claymored a chair into Veer. And apparently, originally on the broadcast, it was a DQ, but having checked what WWE officially called it, it's a no contest, apparently. So, make it up what you will. Next up, we have a women's tag team match, which is Natalya and Tamina defeating Piper Niven and Eva Marie. Ooh, big shock! I'm so amazed at that. So, yeah, obviously, now we have Steph here. So, if Stephanie's ready, I will bring her in properly. There we go.
Hello.
Hello. So,
all
good fun. So this is the second time today Stephanie has been with me, for those of you who didn't see Steph's show earlier. So
yes,
Stephanie's just Stephanie, like a normal person, is having food and dinner and stuff at this time. Me being an idiot, I had dinner earlier, and so now all I have is my coffee. My coffee was made by somebody else, though.
Yeah, she's quite good at it, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. So, currently preoccupied watching anime, so quite happy.
Of course.
Yeah. So, we're not going to elaborate on who this is, but it's someone obviously we both know. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Where did I get up to? I'm just very quickly going through the shows because that's a lot of the people tuning in for. and I'm going to explain the results and my gripes and nitpicks about them. If you have any sites or inputs into them, by all means do so. But then we'll get onto more general stuff once I've gone through all the shows, and we'll go through the idiot stuff and what you remember, what you don't, and so on.
Yeah.
And all the good stuff. Right. So, cool. I also did all the intros and stuff with the stuff while you're gone to. So.
Okay.
Right. Let's see, what did I get up to? Oh, yeah. Natalia and Tamina defeated Piper Niven and Eva Marie. Not surprised at all. And they need to drop this Piper Niven do-drop bollocks. It's clearly crap and doesn't work. Piper Niven is better than it. It is suck. So, yeah, for some reason, they apparently want to call her Dewdrop. Don't ask me why. Yeah. That expression right there is the main reason why I think it's a stupid idea, because everyone gives me that same expression.
I swear Eva Marie wasn't part of WWE anymore.
She came back about 4 weeks ago now, so it's nearly a month.
Oh, God.
They've paired up with Piper Niven, and Piper's an actual proper wrestler, but they've given her a really bad gimmick by calling her Dewdrop. And the gag on this show is I refuse to call her Dewdrop. I just call her Piper Niven all the time.
Yeah.
So, because I refuse to use that name because it's dumb.
Yeah, makes sense.
However, it's not the most dumb thing WWE have done this week, but that I'm going to talk about once I've gone through the reviewing all the shows, because what they did, that in fact it was yesterday, was really dumb.
Oh no.
So, yeah. Although another dumb thing incoming, Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee, right? Two guys who've either been called up or has been off of TV for so long and just come back. So what you do, instead of trying to build them up, make them look good and impressive, you have them face each other where one of them's got to lose.
I'm sorry, but it would have been better even if they just put them in squash matches.
Which is what everyone else has said, yeah. And you're right. I happen to agree with you. This was changed, however, and I'll get into why in a sec, but Karrion Kross actually won the match. The original thing with this, though, is he should have faced Jeff Hardy again, because he faced Jeff Hardy last week, and the reason he didn't face Jeff Hardy is Jeff Hardy's got COVID.
Oh, fun.
So he got pulled from the match. So because it was supposed to lead to like a big thing, but God knows what's happening now. I mean, hopefully Jeff's all right, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Stephanie devouring creative dumb ideas right there. And let's see, where are we up to? Oh yes, tag match. We have Mansoor and Ali as a tag team defeating Mason T-Bar. I liked this because I think Mansoor and Ali have got very good chemistry and they work very well together. Mason T-Bar suck, and it's not their fault. It's a crap gimmick. Let them go back to this normal stuff and they'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as simple as that. Another pointless dumb nuts match is Bobby Lashley come out and basically moan about Goldberg, blah 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 blah. Then he had a triple threat match against the former members of the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, and he beat them both. This was pointless. It didn't need to happen. Simple as that, really. Speaking of another thing that's stupid and pointless, considering you're trying to build up the guy, we then had a match between John Morrison and Riddle, and Morrison won. Despite the fact we are all very sure that Riddle's trying to be built up to have a thing where he's a tag team with Randy Orton and probably winning the tag titles, yet they're beating him.
Mm-hmm. That's something we don't use booking.
Oh, the stupidity doesn't end there, my friends. We have a 24/7 title match, which actually takes place in the ring on this edition of Raw. It's Reginald, who is the 24/7 champion, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, taking on R-Truth. At least Truth's good. I like Truth.
I wonder who's going to win that one.
You won't like the answer, because I know I do.
I'm assuming it's not Truth.
It's Reginald, yeah. So, yeah. At the same time, I'm kind of glad in a way, but at the same time, I think Truth deserves more than what he gets. Because, he's been around for so long. And again, a former NWA champion, he is good at what he does. He has held singles titles before, but I mean, proper ones, not this joke piece of shit title. This is basically the equivalent of the kiddie-friendly version of the hardcore title. Yeah, that's how pointless this title was. This was brought in originally by the USA Network for ratings. Yeah, I'm sure that worked. Yeah. Speaking of stupid ideas for ratings, and this one really, really does annoy me, and we'll get on to why in a minute. The main event of this Raw was Charlotte Flair versus Nikki Ash. Nikki Cross for people who don't know. Ash is actually it's actually not the name. It's A.S.H. aspiring superhero. She has a gimmick change. She basically has like a face mask on, and she knows she's not a real superhero, but when she puts on the costume, it makes her believe sort of thing. That's the gimmick. For those of you who didn't catch it, Nikki won Money in the Bank and cashed in on Charlotte to win the title. So Nikki's actually the women's champion right now.
Wait, okay, I like that.
Yes, we all think Nikki deserves it, which is great. This, however, shat all over her. Okay? Because Charlotte wins this match. This is Nikki's first match after being champion, by the way.
Yeah.
And Nikki's response to this, and this is what they scripted to say, bear in mind, I challenge you to a rematch because this time I know I can beat you.
Right.
Bear in mind, Nikki is still the champion at this point. This was a non-title match. Yeah, makes about as much sense as everything else does on Raw. But for the plus side, though, Raw is over with because I've literally clipped out highlights of these shows to basically make these go through quicker because me and Aaron will talk through these things, obviously, but you don't get to watch these shows, so I'm having to review off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm busy quite a lot, so.
Yeah, exactly. So, as am I have to fit in time to catch up on a lot of these things, right? The next thing is NXT, where the main thing is Samoa Joe is going to face Karrion Kross at NXT TakeOver 36, and for Stephanie's benefit, that's the same Karrion Kross who appeared on Raw. Karrion Kross is the NXT champion.
Okay, that all makes a bit more sense now.
Yeah. So him losing last week to Jeff Hardy was really taken very well by the fans. It's also why there was the internet joke last week of Jeff Hardy's the NXT champion. Because he beat Cross. So,
fair enough.
And he did it in the most fan-favourite way possible. No, he didn't. He did it a small package with his feet on the ropes. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. You see why people were annoyed, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Woman. Ow. No, it's not. Ow.
Let's see. Other major highlights from NXT. Finally, Dakota Kai turned on Raquel Gonzalez and will more likely end up challenging her for the women's title. Good. Glad this happened. I wanted to see this. This is fantastic. Great to see. Imperium beat the living hell out of Hit Row. Good. We had Adam Cole in the main event against Bronson Reed, which doesn't really mean anything to anyone because I don't particularly like Adam Cole. I like Reed, but Cole won this match, which annoyed me until Kyle O'Reilly turned up and beat the living hell out of him. Which works for me.
Nice.
I think so. So, doing quite well on speed here. I'm impressed with myself. Right. So, obviously, if people have any questions about any of these things, do come through and let us know. But I'm going through the reviews very quickly here because we're going to do some Q&A stuff with Steph and have a bit of fun and then talk about stuff. We also are going to talk about Bray Wyatt, as I mentioned before, about him being released.
Dick move. Sorry.
It is, but we will get into more of that in a minute because there is more to it than what people probably realise.
Mm-hmm.
So NXT UK, there isn't a lot of things happening on this because it's only an hour-long show, NXT UK, so it's very easy to do. So I've literally got everything listed because it's an hour. It's an hour show. It's not going to be difficult to do. Jordan Devlin had a good match against Archer. Devlin won. This is a good setup for the match with A-Kid he's got coming up, which is an Iron Man match for 30 minutes. Devlin against A-Kid is going to be a great Iron Man match. If it's your thing, watch it. It'll be good. We then had 2 women's matches on NXT UK. Yes, they do women's matches, people, and give them equal footing and billing too. We had Ginny defeating Valkyrie, which that's not surprising, and then Turner defeated James, which is the other match. Again, I like the fact that they're all treated the same because this is a good thing for me. The main event of this was the thing I was looking forward to on NXT UK this week, and Aaron will vouch for this, was Mustache Mountain defeating Symbiosis. I like Mustache Mountain because I just do. They're big, beefy men who hurt people. Some of my favourite things, which is, for those of you who don't know, is Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. So they defeated Symbiosis, which was T-Bone and Primate. These are UK wrestlers, bear in mind. So for most people, if you're UK fans, you probably know who they are. And for those who don't, by all means, get in touch and we'll talk about that. So last up for the week is SmackDown. And we got some fun for SmackDown. Highlights for SmackDown. John Cena attitude adjustments Baron Corbin, who came out to ask him for help because he's down on his luck. So Cena's response, as a fan favourite, bear in mind, was to give him an attitude adjustment.
Makes sense.
Although I had to be told this because I didn't see it.
I'm just surprised Cena's doing wrestling every now and again. He's getting a bit old.
Yeah. From what we'll get to it, but it seems like he's going to be programmed to be Reigns' opponent at SummerSlam.
Oh joy!
So yeah. So next up, though, as far as matches go, we had Rey Mysterio versus Jimmy Uso. Like this, because it's Rey, and I like Rey. Always have liked Rey, and I suspect Rey will wrestle the same way he did when he was younger, when he's like 127 years old. Because that's just Rey.
Does he still wrestle the same even though he only has one eye?
Pretty much, yeah. Doesn't seem to have hurt Malachi Black either, but, AEW fans can tell you more about that, and say, like, this is an AEW show. So, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of WWE fans will be very curious about certain AEW things. So, yeah. Not going to touch upon those here. We had the return of Sasha Banks to help out Bianca Belair, who got attacked by Selena Vega and Carmella. Yes, Selena Vega is back, despite the fact she told everyone, "We're going to start unions and you can't have my social medias." Both of which have basically collapsed in on themselves because she's given those over and deleted all her tweets referring to unionization.
Huh.
I guess the paycheck was worth more than her principles.
It wouldn't surprise me.
There you go. Our boy Reginald's back with a 24/7 title match, which, here's the fun part, he beat Chad Gable by disqualification. Yeah.
Has he ever got a proper win, though?
No.
Oh, God.
Most of the time, Reginald faces the women, and I'm not kidding. Yeah. At this point, he has had more matches against women wrestlers than he's had against the men.
Since when were they letting men wrestle women?
I don't know, but Reginald seems to be a bit different because he's more like a Circus du Soleil performer, so he's not really big. He's sort of like flippy and slinky and stuff. So I think that's what it is. It's not a carrier and cross battering them or anything.
Aww.
I think women get enough battering from Nia Jax. They don't need it from anyone else.
True.
So yeah. Referring to something I was talking about earlier, Roman Reigns had a contract to face Finn Balor at SummerSlam, which John Cena ends up signing. Yeah. Face John Cena, robbing Finn Balor of a title match. Yeah, Cena. Yeah.
I thought Balor was in NXT still.
He came back last week.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Poor Finn.
Yeah.
Just to get sidelined, I'm sorry. Poor Finn.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So, next up, we have a 6-man tag, which was Big E, Cesaro, and King Nakamura defeating Apollo Crews, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. Gee, this was worthwhile.
I can tell that was one of your favourite matches.
It wasn't. I like Big E, Cesaro, and Naka. I even like Roode, but Jesus Christ. Only reason to really have this match is because Big E's the Money in the Bank holder.
Oh.
It's a camera on TV, but that's it. Yeah, because he won the men's match and Nikki won the women's.
Fair enough.
So it's two fan favourites. Hasn't happened for a while. Mind you, it's probably down to the power positivity.
More than
likely. Don't you dare be Sal. I can't do it as well as he can, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, we just leave that to the pro.
We'll leave it to Biggie because he's much better at it. Let's be honest. Seth Rollins attacks Edge. Yeah, these always go well. They're going to end up having a match at SummerSlam. We all know this is happening, so just do it already. The main event of the show was Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks in a tag match against Carmella and Vega as a result of what happened earlier. And Belair and Banks win this match. At the very end, though, you got Sasha Banks holding up Bianca's women's title above the ring, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to probably have Bianca and Sasha in a match.
Oh, way. Because that's never been done before.
Yay. So, yay, joy. Essentially, that was SmackDown. So, yeah, told you. Match do it very quickly because basically, yeah.
Not a lot goes on.
Well, there is, but a lot of it's minutiae, or you need to understand, watch the program, or follow the ins and outs of everything. So it was just one of those things, and because you don't get to see them, you can't really respond to certain things happening in the program because of knowledge. So
yeah.
WWE had an earnings call this week, and Vince McMahon essentially shat the bed because he said some very stupid things. The main one being, oh yeah, we're going to send more talent. We're going to let more people go and stuff, send them their way in bits and pieces. Yeah, essentially, he said this. And less than 24 hours later, Bray Wyatt got released.
The thing is, they have released some of their most popular and some of their best talent.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and there's several ways this is going to backfire, and I think there's a very big one which will affect one of their current wrestlers. Essentially, they've given the Fiend to Alexa, the Lady Fiend thing.
Yeah.
And now Bray's been let go. I guarantee you she is going to get abuse because of this. It's not her fault. This is WWE's fault. Okay, so people...
She'll just be on the back end of everything.
Yeah, so people, if you're doing it, knock it off. Because people have been apparently going at her social medias about it, right? Attacking her. Knock it off. It's not her fault. It's WWE's fault. If you want to moan at people, WWE.
It's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry, but just because they've let Bray go, she has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, she didn't exactly go, oh, Vince, can I have that character, please? Like, Vince is gonna bloody listen. Vince doesn't even listen to his own family. Or his wife, for that matter. So do you really think he's gonna listen to Alexa? I don't think so. He's just going, oh look, she's small, blonde, and pretty. I'm gonna give her this.
Yeah. It's fucking atrocious.
Yeah. Also, the official reason apparently is budget cuts. Which, considering apparently one of the major reasons he's not been wrestling is medical reasons.
So they're letting him go because he's out on injury?
No, because apparently he just got cleared. And literally, as he's been cleared, they've basically let him go.
AEW, have a new wrestler.
No compete, probably a 90-day one, I would guess.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's where they're all going to go. Either that, TNA, or New Japan, or whatever.
Yeah, you know it would be, oh look, it's Bray AEW in Jacksonville. Or it'll be like, Wyatt's son is in the Impact Zone. Because obviously you can't use the name Bray Wyatt, but he can use parts of it. So it'll be like, oh my god, what's Wyatt's son doing here? Or, oh my god, it's Bray! It's Bray! Bray Windham. For those of you unaware, Windham is his real surname, I should add.
Yeah.
So. But it's so dumb. It really is. The amount of money that man made that company, it's ridiculous. And for those of you thinking, well, yeah, he was like a champion 3 times. He's not a big main eventer. Yeah, you really think his merch didn't sell money? Then you're deluded. Lanterns, face masks, fireflies.
Yeah. I mean, I saw one case, a kid got bullied for wearing one of Bray Wyatt's shirts, I believe. Bray actually a new one because the bullies fucking cut him up. Like the shirt up.
Yeah, man. He bullied him, man.
But it's just, you got wrestlers that are good-hearted, give you good publicity, and make you a massive income. I'm just like, yeah, no, AEW can have you now.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. But for me personally, as long as he's happy and he's healthy, go wherever you want to go, man. Or even take more time away to be with your wife and your baby. Because he's had a kid not too long ago with his new wife. And good for them. If that's what he's going to be as well. But apparently one of the rumoured reasons is, I don't know this, so this is conjecture, so do not take this as fact, anyone. Apparently he had a hard time dealing with what happened to Shuba. And it's partly why he hadn't been on TV. I don't know if that's true or not. Like, bear that in mind. That is speculation, which I don't know is true. I'm just putting it forward because it is something that's out there. And if that's the case, then I hope he has got over it and managed to not over it because that's probably never going to happen. But
come to terms,
able to deal. Yeah, exactly. So, also bear in mind, with him gone, there were no more Wyatt family members in WWE.
Oh no,
he was the last.
Who's the last man standing?
Obviously, Harper went. Rowan went. Braun's gone. Yeah, he got released. That was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was it was a bit more than that. It's probably more like a month ago now. But yeah, he got released too. And now Bray, so they're all gone.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, way to ruin a faction that would have made you a load of money.
What's the bet they're still going to sell that kind of merch, though?
Oh, of course they will. But to me, though, the unfortunate thing, though, is they can never be a faction again. Well, not as they were, because obviously Shuba's no longer with us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Go on.
I think WWE are just going to get to the point all their major talent is going to go, either through being released or just leaving, and they're just going to go under. I can see that happening.
The problem with that is WWE have so much money stockpiled at the moment. It will take a while before they're in a position where that will be an issue.
Yeah.
But talent leaving, I can see happening because that would not surprise me. Because if the talent is interested in creative freedom and being able to do things, then a lot of them will do what Malachi did. Because literally, a case of Malachi Black or Aleister Black for you WWE fans, was creatively unsatisfied in WWE and has made a point of explaining this, and is much more fulfilled with what he's doing now. That's not knocking anyone, any particular talent, because it's not their fault. This is WWE creative right here. He is much happier with what he's doing now than what he did with WWE. It's as simple as that. And this has come from him, not any company. This is directly from Malachi Black or Aleister Black, Tommy End, whatever you want to call him.
Didn't Moxley have the same thing as well?
Yes, he did. And bear in mind, this is John Moxley, who now, ladies and gentlemen, is an AEW wrestler, but off challenging New Japan wrestlers to matches at the same time and also getting to do that too. So it's not even just wrestling for one company, he's wrestling with New Japan as well. Yeah,
and he had a kid recently.
He did. Well, Renee did, actually. He just helped.
He was there.
Well, 9 months ago he was there. And
yeah.
But the thing is with that is you look at that and then people wonder why Daniel Bryan decided to not come back to WWE, because his thing was he wanted to wrestle other places.
Yeah.
This is common knowledge. He told this to people. And because WWE are so strict and stringent about such things, he didn't come back. And that's why there's a big, big rumor, which I don't think I'm spoiling for anyone here, that he's going to show up in another company, which we've been talking about. Probably under his real name, Bryan Danielson, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
Because when he went to wrestle for WWE, he literally just switched his names around. That's how you got Daniel Bryan.
Oh.
So it makes it easy, because a lot of the time when people refer to him, they mention Bryan and people are like thinking, oh, you mean his first name? It's like, you mean like his son? No, that's his first name. It gets a bit weird, but it also works weirdly. It's one of those weird things.
Yeah.
But probably the biggest proponent of WWE's lack of creativity and ability to do anything may also be turning up at that same company. And this gentleman left WWE in 2014. One Phil Brooks, and for those who don't know, that is CM Punk.
Oh.
He's the other one who's rumored to be turning up at that same company as Daniel Bryan.
And
he has long had opinions about WWE's crap creative. And that's pretty much how he explains it.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he cut a promo about it?
He did 2 podcasts. He did 2 podcasts with Colt Cabana, explaining everything bad that happened. And probably the worst thing, at least from his point of view, after he decided not to go back, is they sent him his termination papers on his wedding day.
Well then.
Hi, Vince. Guess why I'm not working for you?
And there's a wedding present for you.
I think he coped with it somehow, but it just shows you the kind of company that you're dealing with. I mean, that is so moronic. If you're going to release something like that, fine, but do your research. Yeah. Yeah. The worst for you, because all one person has to do is know what that happened, and it comes out. And yeah, guess what happened? It came out. So yeah, I mean, what also made it worse is CM Punk's wife, for those who don't know, is AJ Lee. who at the time was still a WWE wrestler.
Yeah.
So they knew she was getting married.
You couldn't have waited until the day after.
Well, they should have done, but, you know, douchebags.
Yeah.
But it's not good when a company like that does such stupid things. Because the thing is, WWE are the biggest wrestling company on the planet. They are. Yeah. Even though they would refuse to call themselves that because they're like, oh, we're sports entertainment. No, you're a wrestling company who are deluded into believing you're an entertainment company. And in fact, they deluded themselves. They decided to get the F out and become the Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment. Apparently, they seem to have forgotten what that second W stands for in their name.
Wrestling.
Yeah. Because apparently Vince doesn't like wrestling.
No, he just likes really crappy acting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but half the wrestlers who do cut promos can't do them for shit.
Because they're all scripted.
Yeah.
And this is the issue, because then you look at that, right? And then you look at former WWE talent who now have done promos in other places like Impact, New Japan, AEW, and you look at them do promos and like, oh, you can talk.
Yeah.
It really was WWE's crap writing.
Right, I'm going to quickly run my bowl downstairs and make another coffee. I will be like 3 minutes.
I will be timing you. Bum, 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 bum.
Ha, ha, ha.
That. All right, so you do what you need to do, and we will... I will just take a quick breath and just see if anyone wishes to input who may be watching. If not, I will think of something coming up here.
Okay. I will be back in a sec.
Okay, no worries. So, yes, people. So we are going to talk a bit about this, so... So, yeah. Sorry, people just having to deal with some work stuff, you know, how it goes with this fun stuff we do. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like bashing WWE about this stuff, but really, as the biggest company out there, they need to be doing better. It's not good at all. You need to treat your talent people better. You need to treat your viewers better. Because so many people I know are really excited and looking forward to things in other companies right now and not WWE. And yeah, that's not a good thing at all. When you're the biggest company out there and you've got none of the buzz or the hype going on for you, that is not a good thing. Because that stuff always goes wrong in the end. So, yeah. All good fun. So, while Stephanie is absent, if, as I said before, if any of you have any cues you wish to throw away, any questions, comments, by all means, you can always get involved with this stuff. It's not a problem. So, unless everyone's thing, that's fine too. I always like to make it clear it's cool if you want to get involved. It's not a problem. So, yeah. Oh, yes. While I remember, I don't have the necessary updates and graphics and stuff yet, but obviously our normal co-host Aaron, his charity changed today, so there's new charities. So if you go to his socials, or even his Twitch, this is Aaron's Twitch, you should be able to find his new charity for the month and be able to help them and follow them as well. Obviously, he does his normal streaming when he's not got other things going on. You guys can always find details for such things, but this is where you'll find that stuff. Or on Twitter, Instagram, and so on. Yeah. Always good fun. Oh, I've had a long day, people. I am knackered. But I can still book back in WWE Creative. At least I hope I would. There is some very, very bad things, though, that have been happening. As far as WWE stuff goes. I'm not just talking about the releases either, or the bad critics, although there are some bad ones. Oh, yeah, well, actually, we'll get onto something there. Obviously, being here in the United Kingdom, it doesn't actually affect us, at least not yet, because we do not have it. We haven't had it happen yet. We still have the WWE Network. But we're quite a while into it now, since the changeover for the Americans to Peacock, and it's still terrible, apparently. So, way to give your people a good service there, Peacock. These people who want to watch your service and are getting rubbish. Either stuff isn't working, or it freezes, it pauses, or it won't work. Yay! Makes it look good. Also, WWE, this don't look good on you either for picking somebody who then can't actually deliver your product to people. So.
Hello.
Hello.
Told you I wouldn't be too long.
Yeah, no worries. All good?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All good. I got my coffee. And we're all good to go.
And the other thing?
Yes. Fine.
Good.
I'll tell you about it off air.
Okay. Yeah, we speaks in codesies.
Yes.
It's not very good codes if you know us particularly well, but for those of you who don't,
yeah,
then it is. So
it's a family thing.
Yeah, we actually do book better than WWE Creative.
Yes.
So we have epic storylines.
Yes, we do.
We do long-term booking.
Yes.
We also don't forget who's the champion. and then beat them on their first night in the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, what did we want to talk about then?
All right, so we've covered all the main stuff. Okay, so we'll just go a bit more, obviously, back with Steph, because obviously You are the aforementioned idiot.
Idiot.
In the title. I say idiot because you're not really an idiot. You're just out of the loop.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So my question would be, what was the last wrestling you watched?
I believe the one that I properly sat down and willingly watched was, I believe it was NXT War Games, and it was the Undisputed Era with Tommaso Ciampa's lot.
Oh, the one with Kevin Owens in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know the one you mean.
Yeah.
Our viewers will know as well. To be fair, not the worst thing to have watched.
No, it was a good match, but just Undisputed Era. Yeah.
Well, they're not a thing anymore.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yeah, they went on for about 4 years too long.
Yeah.
But they are broken up now. They're pretty much all on their own. Fish is on his own. Roderick Strong has his own faction now, which is called Diamond Mine. Adam Cole was a obnoxious ponce, but he's on his own.
Yeah, but what else is new with Adam Cole?
And Kyle O'Reilly's beating the crap out of Adam Cole. So
nice.
Not gonna lie.
See, O'Reilly was just kind of there in the Undisputed Era.
Well, that's the weird part. Him and Bobby Fish, we used to be a tag team called Green Dragon, who used to be really good on independence and did lots of tag team championships and stuff.
Yeah.
And you got Roderick Strong, who used to hold lots of titles as well. The only one who wasn't really a big shot anywhere was Adam Cole. Adam Cole's only claim to fame was he used to be in the Bullet Club.
Oh, okay.
Fuck the Bullet Club.
Yeah, I remembered on a previous podcast that you are not a fan of the Bullet Club.
No, it's something that's gone on for about 7 years too long, and it's still going on.
Oh, God.
When you're a knockoff of something as well known as the NWO, you go away because that's just bad. Get your own stuff. And
yeah.
That goes for the elite as well, because you're a derivative of the same thing. Get your own gimmicks, get your own stables, come up with your own bloody names. So, yes, I know the elite are AEW, but they were part of the Bullet Club, so it counts. That's why I mentioned people. So, yes, for WWE fans, this is why. Don't get your knickers in a twist. Although you will, because you're generally WWE fans, and most of you can't help but love Vince McMahon's crap for some reason. I don't understand why, but you do. The thing is, and the sad part is, there's a lot of really good stuff happens in WWE. Unfortunately, it's ruined by idiots.
Yeah.
Who I like to call creative.
Yeah.
So.
See, one of those ones that kind of got ruined was Shayna Baszler when she was in NXT.
Oh, Shayna Baszler got ruined full stop. It's even worse now.
But the thing is, she was okay in NXT. I mean, obviously, she's what, MMA?
MMA, yes.
Yeah. And, you know, she's used to a bigger set of, like, a different set of rules. But she did really, really well in NXT.
She adapted very quickly.
Yeah. She comes up to main roster, and it's just, we're going to put you with Nia Jax. Have fun.
Yeah, you're not like my skills. I'm gonna hurt the girls. She's gonna cripple you. She's gonna hurt you. That's Nia Jax's theme tune, by the way.
Yeah.
At least that's what I hear.
Yeah.
But the thing with Shayna Baszler particularly is she was a big MMA. She was a fairly well-known MMA star. She's friends with Ronda Rousey, for example. That's one thing. She's one member of the Four Horsemen of the MMA faction of the Four Horsewomen. She was a women's NXT champion, and basically got treated essentially like she didn't matter by Vince. Yeah, because Vince apparently doesn't get her.
Yeah, I mean, when I watched Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley, that title match where Rhea won,
Yeah.
That was a really good match for both of them.
Yeah.
And you barely, from what I've been told, you barely get to see Shayna doing anything good.
To be honest, you barely get to see either of them do anything good. They are both very badly used by WWE. Shayna's just been going on for longer.
Yeah.
But the other issue with Shayna as well, particularly, and you would think this would get her noticed more. And I don't like bringing this up, but it's a case of generally with the world we live in today, people like to highlight people who are different to the regular people.
Yeah.
And I don't like stating it this way, but it's the way to explain it. Shayna Baszler just happens to like women when it comes to her personal life.
Yeah.
Do I give a fuck? No. Okay. But apparently Vince does. Apparently WWE do. Okay.
Yeah.
Should it make a difference to her wrestling career? Absolutely not.
No.
But I'm assuming there's a reason why Vince doesn't get her, and I hope it's not that.
In all honesty, if it is that, it would not surprise me.
Well, that's what concerns me if it is that, because they've also just called up Toni Storm. I don't know if you're familiar with Toni Storm or not.
Yes, I believe first NXT UK Women's Champion.
Yeah, also bisexual.
Oh god.
She recently came out publicly.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, when Sonya Deville did that, they were like, "We're going to shove a rainbow on you now."
Okay, Sonya Deville did not come out as bisexual. Sonya Deville came out as being lesbian.
A lesbian.
Let's be clear. Yeah, let's be clear.
Yeah, but they were like, "We're just going to shove a rainbow in your back pocket now."
Right. And not being funny to, as far as both of those, in fact, as far as all three of them go, Shayna, Toni Storm, Sonya Deville, they are more than their sexuality. They are three very talented wrestlers. Wrestlers, bear in mind I said wrestlers, not women, wrestlers, because that's what they are.
Yes, they are.
Who are should not be defined by just who they happen to love or fancy. Watch their in-ring stuff when they're not shackled by crappy creative.
Yeah.
You'll find plenty of Toni Storm's work from independents out there. The same thing goes, you'll get some for Sonya Deville as well.
Yep.
Shayna, just watch her MMA stuff, gives you an idea. Even some of her NXT stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I really hope this isn't a thing that it's because they are not like. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. I hope it's not a case of orientation mattering.
Yeah. It's annoying.
But he's an old man, and it does make me wonder.
Yeah.
I may be wrong, in which case, fair enough. But bear in mind, I'm not saying that's what's happening. It's a supposition because I don't know.
I mean, even if it isn't the case, he's just wasting perfectly good talent.
Which is just as bad, in all honesty. In fact, it's probably worse. Because then you're wasting them based on their ability and not outside influences, which is actually a much worse thing to do.
Yeah.
So, because particularly when it comes to in the workplace, your orientation should not matter at all in any way. So the fact is, if you're being discriminated against because of your orientation, that's illegal in any job. FYI, people, just so you're aware of this. So, but if it's your ability, that's different. An employer can do that because that is okay because employers can decide, judged upon your ability to do the job, as to whether you're suitable or not.
Yep. I mean, it's just discrimination itself is just not good at all. And it's, people who do that are absolute assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, let's be clear. Racial, sexual, gender, that kind of discrimination, you can kiss your ass. You can fucking kiss this, right? If that's you. You can fuck off because I don't want you watching. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's just history repeats itself, and it's starting to do that again, and it's doing me nothing.
Yeah. By all means, if you've got something against somebody because you don't think it's an ability thing, you don't think they're good enough because they can't do X, Y, or Z ability-wise, that's a valid opinion. Doesn't mean you're right, but you are entitled to an opinion. And also, in that instance, you're not picking on the person because of who they happen to be. You're deciding you don't think they can do what you think they should be able to do.
Yeah.
And as a fan of anything, that's who you decide who you want to win or who to follow. Great, because that's how you decide like what team you support, what person you follow, what musicians you like, stuff. That's just how that stuff works. As you should be. That's how you pick your favourites, essentially. But it shouldn't be how you. But you shouldn't be picking people because she happens to lick out such and such, or she happens to suck such and so, or he sucks his thing,
Yeah.
Or he's pink, he's black, he's blue, he's whatever.
Yeah. It's like, just bringing this out of wrestling context, you wouldn't plan your wedding and then choose a photographer or a hair and makeup artist based on like looks and like bias and shit. You do it based on their ability.
You do.
And who's more affordable.
What fits your budget, absolutely. There is a caveat to, particularly when it comes to makeup artists and photographers, when it comes to certain types of wedding. There are certain religions where certain events have to be done by females. That's fine because that's a cultural thing, okay?
Yeah.
In which case, that's not discrimination. You are adhering to the need of the client, okay?
Yes.
If you think it's discrimination, you are wrong. Okay, I have done weddings before where they've had that situation happen, and you know what I did for that? I found them a female photographer.
Yeah.
Because of course you do. That's how you're not a putz. Because as a guy, you should not be doing those because that's against the culture. It's not good. You have to respect their beliefs and traditions, even if they're not your own. In fact, in most cases, especially if they're not your own.
Yeah. It's like I did a bridal trial about 2 weeks ago now. And another guy that they also brought in for the trial, person, was a guy. And that was the same situation. The bride didn't want the guy there for cultural reasons. So I did the trial and still waiting to hear back, but
Well, that's the thing. In certain cultures, that's just the way it is. Also, there's a comfort level as what people are happy with.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You have the right to decide what you're happy with. You do not have the right to have a come out and shout out of your mouth, I don't want that person because they are
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. I wasn't going to use the actual terms, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. If you're looking for somebody who has A, B, and C, but you get someone who's X, Y, and Z, don't be a dick about it. Because at the end of the day, these people are trying to make a living.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless of the occupation, everyone's trying to make a living, and you can't just be like, oh, about it. It's one, not exactly professional, and two, we have feelings.
I would also point out to the client base out there, a lot of us all talk to each other.
Yeah, there is that.
Photographers do. Makeup artists I know do.
Yes.
Hairdressers certainly do.
Mm-hmm.
Dressmakers definitely do.
Yeah. I mean, half of my friends are hairdressers and makeup artists. Yeah. So it's like, we talk about work.
And a lot of time we also talk to each other.
Yeah.
So, something to bear in mind, because if you get a black mark generally against a creative of some kind from those situations, people find out.
Yeah.
Which will make it, as a client, you'll have a very hard time getting anyone to do work for you because you would have made X, Y, and Z happen.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, it's really not.
So, also, I would say, as a person who may be working freelance and having people approach them to do for somebody to do work for them. Here's the thing, right? It's called being professional. You may be the most staunchest anti-gay person on the planet, for example, right?
Yep.
But if somebody comes up to you and they happen to be gay, and they're offering you money to do a job, as long as it covers you for the money that you need to cover the job, you should treat it the same as if it's a straight person.
Yep.
Okay, it's as simple as that. Same job.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who freelances and is looking at salon, yeah, there are so many work policies about what is okay and what isn't okay to talk about. But half the time you do need to use your common sense if you're freelancing.
Yeah. But that also brings us back to the wrestlers, because all the wrestlers are independent contractors. They're not employees of WWE.
Yeah. And
here's the thing. They are independent contractors, and not in the same way that I'm an independent contractor, or you would be one. Because WWE pretty much tell them what they can do.
Whereas we're our own boss.
Yeah. We can literally turn around and say yes or no to whatever comes our way.
Yeah.
But because of the arrangement they have with WWE, even though they're independent contractors, they still have to do what the company tells them.
Yeah. It's like I turned down a job offer purely based on it was something that I couldn't do, because it was they wanted braiding and extensions done.
Okay.
And that is something that I haven't been taught. So that's something that I'm now currently learning. So that way I have the ability to do that. Because
just bear with me a second. I'll be back 10 seconds.
Yeah. And it's because women like having their hair done a certain way. And if I can't do that, then, you know, I do have the right as my own boss to say no. Whereas if there's a certain storyline that a wrestler doesn't feel comfortable with that Vince has cleared, they can't turn around and say, no, I'm not doing that, because they need to do what Vince tells them. So, yeah. I'm just going to wait for Peter to get back. So, yeah.
I have people, sorry about that. I just had to beat up Netflix because apparently they do crap things.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know who was watching something and it was being weird.
Oh, fun.
And not in the Masters of the Universe Revelation crappy kind of way.
Huh.
So, yeah, how to lie about a remake and reboot right there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm hating this. Ow.
But this isn't that. This when it's not a show we're talking about that, so I will move on from that. But yeah,
don't mind me. I've got my new piercing. It's just itching, and it's itchy where it's healing, and I'm trying to itch around it to satisfy the itch, and it's just not working.
Yeah, I have a suspicion that the next Broken Film Show might be about reboots and remakes. To be perfectly honest,
that would be interesting. I have a few things to say about some Disney remakes.
Yeah, I've got plenty to say about this Masters Universe Revelations crap.
Oh, God.
Oh, I do it. It's dreadful.
Yeah.
So the problem is I don't. Oh, fuck it. I'll go into it because I imagine at this point it's common knowledge. Right, for those of you unaware, this is basically He-Man. Okay? In the very first episode, they kill He-Man. Right? From that point onwards, Teela's a whiny little bitch. He doesn't like the fact that everyone knew that He-Man was Adam, apart from her. And from following episodes onwards, she's hanging around with her black female friend, and has an SJW haircut. Oh, it gets better, right? Episode 4, they go to Preternia, which is heaven, essentially, and find Adam. Get Adam to come back with them to help save everything and bring the magic back to Preternia, blah, 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 blah. And just as he's got sword, he's going to do I got the power thing. He gets stabbed in the back by Skeletor and dies again.
Oh, dear.
If it wasn't so bad, it would be funny.
Yeah. I
mean, obviously, this is not a film. Obviously, this is not a film show. So, but the point being is, that's how to mislead the audience and do crap stories. This is something WWE does as well.
Yeah, I mean, considering He-Man's meant to be the main bloody character, I remember growing up watching He-Man.
As did a lot of people of a certain age. I mean, people my age particularly. We grew up with He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and do you know what? The funny part is that show is mostly made up of people who are either gay, bisexual, or lesbians.
Way.
Okay.
See,
the original show is incredibly camp and very, very gay.
See, that's what I grew up watching as well because mum.
And you know what? It was a fun show. I enjoyed it as a straight, white, heterosexual man. I liked it. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. It was hilarious. It was both action, comedy, and as a child, great. That's what I wanted.
Win-win.
Yeah. And you know what? The women in it, and this is where the big thing comes in here, because, you know, generally women are downtrodden. There's never been any strong women in anything ever, apparently, up until, like, really recent history.
Yeah.
The women in that cartoon were always strong, powerful badasses.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So, yeah, all these people come up with this, oh, you don't have strong women in films before such and such, right? Yeah. This series came out in the early 80s, right, people? And they had strong female women. The Sorceress, You had Tila.
Yeah.
You had Evil Lynn. All very strong female characters.
We do love Evil Lynn.
But, yeah. But obviously, this isn't a film show. Just obviously, I'm not going to go on with it too much longer. But we want to talk about these sort of things. So. But, again, this is another case of a bad storytelling. Also, misrepresenting what you're going to give the people.
Yeah.
Because the person who made this show, by the way, was Kevin Smith. And for people who don't know who Kevin Smith is, he's the guy who did Clerks, Dogma, and all those things.
Mm.
And he deliberately lied to all the people saying, oh, no, this show's going to be about He-Man. It's the fucking Tila show.
Mm.
So, fuck you, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I second that.
Yeah. So, this at least is why this is the difference between something like this though and Vince McMahon. At least Vince is consistent with his crap.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith told every line in the book to say, "Oh no, this isn't happening." No, Vince is very consistent. This is the shit you're getting, and you're going to keep getting it.
I'm going to force feed it down to your throats.
Yeah, Vince at least has a thing. This is what I'm doing. This is my plan, and this is where we're going. And he doesn't deviate from that plan unless something major happens.
Yeah.
I at least respect that. I respect it. It's dumb, but I respect it because he's consistent. You don't have to agree with somebody to respect their opinion.
Yeah.
So, also, Vince has been doing this stuff for like 40, 50 years at this point. So, you know, kind of means he probably knows a bit about what's going on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are just certain things he won't know, being a 78-year-old dude. Because you just don't. It'd be like asking me, oh, what does a 13-year-old teenage girl like? How the fuck would I know?
Yeah.
Or asking Steph, what does a 5-year-old boy probably like most in the world? I mean, you can probably guess, but...
Trucks. I don't know.
Not being funny, I'd go with dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, last time there was a 5-year-old in my life. Yeah, dinosaurs, unicorns, and chicken nuggets.
It tends to be dragons, dinosaurs, or trucks.
Yes.
When it comes to that age range for a boy. But having been a boy, I can guess and approximate that stuff. I was never a girl. How would I know?
Yeah.
So you need balance with these sort of things to work out what will work for who and what will work for others. Because let's be honest, the major demographic for wrestling, the audience, is men.
Mm-hmm.
It's guys, right? Okay.
Which is, again, a fucking pain in the ass. Sorry. Speaking as a woman.
I know, I get it. I understand it. But when you know what your demographic is like that, absolutely play up to the fact it's a male audience. No question. Yeah. But not at the expense of the female audience you have or possibly could get.
Yeah.
And when you treat people like they treat Baszler, like they treat Storm, like they treat Seville, Alexa Bliss even.
Yeah.
That shit is going to be very off-putting. And then you're going to see what's going to happen to Alexa because it's Bray Wyatt stuff. That's going to make a lot of women fans go, oh, I don't want to see that because they were really bad to her.
Yeah, it's like what happened with Lana after they let Rusev go.
Right.
She was put through tables often.
Yeah. But fortunately for Lana, she has been saved from such fate because she got released as well. Because she's not with the company
good for
anymore.
her.
Yeah. Okay. But Lana's most common thing at the moment is she's featuring in, but not by name, promos by Miro on AEW where he talks about his flexible, bendy wife.
Huh.
Because Miro, to give you guys an idea, to put this in some sort of context, Miro has a gimmick at the moment where he's basically the Redeemer. So basically he's God's favorite champion. And basically what it is he turns around and says, yeah, I'm God's favorite champion and I'm thankful for God for giving me my great wrestling ability and my flexible, bendy wife. before going on and talking about other stuff. And it's fantastic.
I mean, seeing as Lana used to do professional dancing,
well, that's the point.
Sense.
That's the point. He's not being rude. She is flexible and bendy.
Probably in more ways than one, but yeah.
Do they probably do that in their private life? Sure. Why not? Is it my business? No. But as Stephanie rightly points out, CJ Perry, which is Lana, spent years dancing in Russia.
Yes.
Hence the reason she can do the accent. She spent a lot of time in Russia. She is a trained dancer. Yes, she is flexible and bendy.
Yes.
Because dancers generally have to be, especially those kind of dancers.
Yeah.
As in ballet, people, get your minds out the gutter.
Yeah. As someone who used to do ballet as a kid, you've got to be very flexible.
Yeah. So
I know that ability.
Yeah. So basically, as God's favourite champion, he's grateful for his flexible, bendy wife.
I respect that.
So do I. Oddly enough, I don't know anybody who actually has an issue with that. Strangely enough.
Yeah.
I've heard that both men and women, by the way. I've heard nobody have an issue with that. Because there'll be a lot of people being, oh, he's sexualizing her. One, it's his wife. Two, at that she cares. And three, he's making her look good.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think there's a good chance at some point she'll turn up with him.
Oh, yeah. Meet my flexible, bendy wife.
Yeah. And you know what? Absolutely fine. Not an issue.
Yeah.
However, Malachi Black's wife is definitely going to turn up with him anytime soon because that dumb bitch re-signed with WWE. Selena Vega, for those of you who do not know, is married to Malachi Black. And yeah. I understand possibly needing the money and stuff and things and possibly need a job. Okay, I understand stuff. But when you go on a platform and make a point of talking about your principles, you need to unionize, you want your social medias, you don't think you should have to give these things over, blah, blah, blah. And then you turn around 6 months later and basically collapse on all of them. You're a coward.
Yeah. If you're going to make claims like that, stick to your guns, please.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to make that big a deal out of them and make it that public. By all means, do that shit privately as much as you want. But if you go public with stuff like that and then you do something like she's done, you are going to look bad.
That's like me saying on my social medias, I'm going to sue McDonald's. And the next day someone sees me at fucking McDonald's.
You're more like to say on social media, I'm going to swing by McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't see you saying, I will sue McDonald's because I'm thinking, yeah, right.
Or I will sue Starbucks for free coffee.
To be fair, I could see that because you like coffee.
Yes, I do. Coffee is a life force here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, where did that... I just dropped my ball of wool. That was funny. What is next on the list?
We've actually done very well so far, so we got through a lot of stuff.
Hey.
Let's see. Here's one for you as the proverbial idiot.
Yes.
From the outside looking in with the current state of the wrestling world, do any of the promotions make you think I might want to watch that?
No. All I see, the only thing that would probably get me to watch it would be the abs.
Okay. So my question, this is going to follow-up question. Why not?
It's just, from an outsider's point of view, I'm looking for massive amounts of action. I'm also one of those girls who like a lot of blood. And I like to see a good fight. But from some of the like advertisements and like little snippets that I've seen on social media of these fights, I'm like, it's just people in spandex throwing each other around. There's not a lot going on. And it's, you know, half of the gimmicks that I used to absolutely adore and love aren't there anymore. Like, what's a good one? Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they were a tag team that I liked, and they were really good together. And then next thing you know, they're not together, and I'm like, great. The only thing that would get me to watch it, though, especially on the women's side of things, would be Alexa Bliss's Fiend persona, if she chooses to carry on with it.
But I'm not so sure if she'll have the choice. Which itself is an issue.
Yeah. I mean, one that I am quite tired of seeing is Roman Reigns' one.
What, the tribal chief thing?
I preferred the big dog persona. I preferred that one.
It's interesting because most wrestling fans would disagree with you on that.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm curious.
It's Roman has never been this egotistical and had this much of a, oh yeah, I'm this, that, and the other. Like, I'm basically royalty, bow down to me and all this. He's always just been the one who heavy hits and then just fucks off for a few months, come back, and yeah. I'm not a big fan of it.
So I'd say, because this is very much heel Roman Reigns. The
The
one you're talking about is babyface Roman Reigns.
Yes, I did prefer the babyface to the heel. Also, not a fan of Paul Heyman. Because last time I saw Roman Reigns, he was trying to get the Usos to side with him, and Paul Heyman was there.
Yeah. By the way, they both have.
Oh God.
So, yeah. The thing is, though, if you're going to for the wide wrestling audience, Roman Reigns as a babyface did not work. He was resoundingly booed and rejected. The minute he did the whole tribal chief thing, the fans started actually getting behind him.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the thing about that, and you can tell me what you think about it. I don't think it's a Heyman thing. It's because, and this is the thing WWE pushed on with him from the beginning, he should have been a case of, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, but I can also do this, I can also beat the crap out of you too.
Yeah.
Which is what the babyface one did not do. He was very much a fucking fuckatash.
See, I can understand that and I can see why. But at the same time, I did prefer it as babyface, and it is purely based on, I think this gimmick is now starting to be overused.
Right.
And he needs to have a change.
Okay, I was going to say, don't get me wrong. I think you're right. But the problem is with WWE here, this is again, it's a creative thing. They tried so long to push him as a fan favorite down everyone's throat. They failed so badly because they didn't understand how to do it. They made people go away as a face. So they've had to literally turn him heel to try and get him over. To be fair, which has worked with the majority of normal wrestling fans, I point out.
Yes.
But this has happened 7 years after it should have happened to begin with, where they should have just had him as a babyface be this way. And that would work. But, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm with you. I don't actually like the tribal chief thing. Because I find it boring.
I feel like if it was a different gimmick, but he was still a heel, it would work.
Maybe.
Because, yeah, all right, I prefer him as a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
But when he wrestles as a heel, it's better, if that makes sense.
I got you.
Because he's a bit more, I don't give a fuck.
He wrestles more dominant as a heel than he does as a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that, definitely. But I can see your point of view on that one, definitely. So, as for Heyman's Marmite for people. Either people like him or they don't. So that will affect people's judgment as to what they think. I know you don't like Heyman, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when he pulls the odd occasional funny, it's funny, but it's just, yeah.
That's fair enough. But the thing is, for the most part, in this role with Reigns, is he's very much number two here and doesn't talk that much. Most of the talking is done by Roman.
Yeah, which is good. I just don't get why they've put Heyman with him.
Because Heyman's the one who has managed to get Roman into his position, not being funny.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why. Heyman has a long history with the Anoa'i family.
Yeah.
He used to manage the Samoan SWAT team back in WCW, and those guys are part of that Samoan dynasty they talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Basically, you know those Usos?
Yep.
Dad and uncle.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he used to manage them.
Okay, that does make a bit more sense.
Yeah, there is a history there, just WWE don't really explain it very well.
Of course they don't. It's WWE creative here.
Yeah, so he has a history with the Anoa'i clan.
Yeah.
So when you understand that as a context, I think it at least makes sense that he's involved, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it does make a bit more sense now.
Yeah, because the thing is, I've seen him manage the Samoan SWAT team in those matches, so I know it is a thing.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, and here's the funny part, one of those guys, bear in mind, these two Samoans at the time were like 290, 280 pounders. One of these guys ended up being Rikishi.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Because that's the Usos' father, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you see them as a tag team, as a Samoan SWAT team, you'd never know it.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, this was like the late 80s, early 90s, so he did look a bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where the Heyman being involved stuff does kind of make sense because there's a connection there.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but without knowing that, I can understand why it's a bit weird for people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but as I said, because I saw that at the time, because I was a WCW guy, I watched it. I knew it was a thing. But obviously, the regular fan doesn't because they never explain it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see what happens with that stuff anyway. But it's interesting to know why, particularly, especially as a woman, not being funny, but it is interesting to know why it doesn't attract you.
Yeah.
Because it's a unique point of view.
Yeah. I mean, when I did watch wrestling quite a lot growing up, back then I had quite a few more female friends than what I do now.
Yeah.
And they would literally be like, oh yeah, he's hot. No, she's all right. She seems like a bitch. It's literally like they are just being stereotypical women and ogling over men in really tight gear.
Essentially, it's a beauty pageant.
Yeah, and then there's just me like, yes, throw him on the floor. Yes!
Kill him!
Yeah, pretty much. Because obviously, if you guys paid attention in the last Idiot's Guide to Wrestling, Undertaker is my all-time favourite. And I do love watching his matches. And yeah, again, I got sad when he retired, but...
Which time?
The last time.
It's my favourite Undertaker joke when he retired.
Yeah.
Which time?
Yeah, which time are you on about now? But yeah, it was just not fun. And then in secondary school, I had a few more guy friends, so I could talk about the wrestling with the guys who watched it and actually talk about the wrestling.
Yeah.
And also ogle at the women, because why not?
That's what guys do.
Yeah. And it's,
But here's the thing, I will say, though, when it comes to ogling men and women, people can do that without being objectifying arseholes. Okay?
Yes.
In other words, when you attend live wrestling shows, people, and I've seen fans do this, so this is why I'm making this point, you do not need to inappropriately touch the wrestlers.
Yeah.
If the wrestler is happy for you to hug them, great, but make sure it's okay. Don't just assume, oh, I can hug you.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, we ogled the men and women based on their abilities as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just one of those ones.
In that respect, I'd be very weird then, because I'd have been, oh, look, it's Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And, oh, look, it's Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Which, for me, particularly in my case, is very funny because that's not a case of ogling because I fancy one of them because I'm a straight white male.
Yeah.
But they're two wrestlers I really like.
Yeah. I mean, when the Hardy Boys came back, I spoke about it with a heterosexual male who is a really good friend of mine. And yeah, some of the words that he said about Jeff Hardy, it made me question his sexuality for a second.
Were there no more words?
That was a good one. I like that.
Thank you.
That was really good. Just, yes. But it was because we were just drooling over the moveset as well. And we started watching some of his old matches at lunch on the phone. So it was like, yes. Yes.
I can understand that one. For those of you, by the way, who are interested in Jeff Hardy matches, possibly some of his more insane ones, watch his TNA ones. There are some insane matches there, particularly against current WWE producer Chris Parks, who was called Abyss in TNA. They had a lot of matches, and some of which were called Monsters Ball matches, and those matches have no rules apart from pinfalls.
Yeah.
And Jeff and Abyss had a few of those. Yeah. And Abyss has a thing for tax.
Yes.
And setting tables on fire.
We like fire.
I thought you'd like that.
We like fire.
Yeah, so for Stephanie, as far as her psychotic streak goes, find Abyss matches. I think you'll like them.
Yeah.
For those of you who want to see Jeff matches where it's a bit more wild and untamed, like in WWE, check out his TNA stuff. But stop once he joins Immortal. You won't like it after that. Because it's where he teams up with Hulk Hogan as a baddie.
Oh, God.
He turns heel, and basically Jeff is like, nobody understands me. I'm like a champion, but everybody hates me. And that particular run ended very badly because he, I don't put this, any actual wrestling fan knows what I'm about to talk about, but you wouldn't have seen this, I'm going to explain it to you. Jeff Hardy had a match in the main event of a pay-per-view for TNA. This was called, what was it? Victory Road 2011, I believe it was, against Sting, who was the TNA champion at the time. As in, Sting, WCW Sting.
Yeah.
Right?
I figured that was who you were on about.
Just to be clear, Jeff came out for the match and he was fucking wasted, and I do mean wasted on drugs.
Oh, God.
Off his fucking tits, right? Okay. You can tell Sting is not happy. So what's happened is, obviously, they can't have the match, right? But Jeff won't play ball. So basically, and this is something I'll stick up for this person here, particularly. A lot of people give him shit. Eric Bischoff, of all people, has had to come out the back, from the back for WCW. Eric's a heel, by the way. He's supposed to be on Jeff's side. He's had to come out and basically explain to Sting, beat him. Just beat him. Yeah. We're going to make it a no DQ match. Just beat him as quickly as possible and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Which seemed to help Sting be less annoyed. He was still not happy, but he was at least happy that somebody had noticed something. So literally, this match happens. Sting gets hold of him, Scorpion Death Drop, and then keeps him down forcibly for a 3 count. And you can tell it's by force. But the entire lead up to this bit before the match starts, you can tell Jeff is fucking wasted.
I mean, it is a shame because obviously he had his addictions and shit.
Yeah, this is what led to him getting rehab and the help and why he's been so much better since. But this
he's actually opened up about it as well.
Yeah, but that's one of the big reasons why this happened, because of that.
Yeah.
It was actually that bad. TNA offered refunds to everyone. And companies don't generally do that unless people ask for it. They came out in advance and told people, we're offering refunds before anyone could ask.
Yeah.
So credit to TNA on that one. Credit to TNA on that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely massive credit towards them. Because that does take a lot of balls.
Yeah. And to be fair, credit to Jeff. He turned his life around. He got help.
Yeah. Which is really good.
Yeah. He has COVID now, though, but hopefully he turns around from that too.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously he had a storyline with Sheamus, didn't he?
He did.
And Sheamus used the drug stuff against him.
It's been done a few times. CM Punk did it as well. In fact, the Punk one happened before he went to Impact TNA the second time, which is when the Immortal stuff happened.
Yeah.
And for those of you unaware, CM Punk is straight edge. So him and Jeff couldn't be any more different to each other. So yeah. But since he came back after that happened, he's had some misdemeanors, but nowhere nothing as bad as what that was.
Yeah.
But that's why a lot of that time that drug stuff gets thrown up at Jeff, is because of things like Victory Road 2011. You can probably find the clip on YouTube for anyone who is interested to see just how bad this was. Or you can always just go to the Impact app and watch the pay-per-view. So you have to subscribe, but it's not a lot, and they have an entire TNA Impact archive on there. So
yeah,
it's one of those things. But yeah. But yes, you talk about Jeff and your mate saying weird things about Jeff. You question his sexuality and stuff.
Yeah.
Before we got diverted on the Jeff Hardy thing. But
I've just found a 10-minute clip of it, so I'm going to watch that in a minute.
Yeah.
Or whenever we go there.
Well, once we stop streaming, you can do it. But if you do it while we're streaming, we'll get struck because it's a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, yeah, you say about your friend and saying things about you. But yeah, I think a lot of people misunderstand wrestling as being, oh, it's just because they look pretty in skin tight outfits. No, it's a case of we like the drama, we like the athleticism, we like to see them be able to do things, and it will make a sense in the world of wrestling. Yes, we understand it's not real, but it's entertainment the same way as what people watching soaps is.
Yeah. The thing is, as well, is they have to be trained to do the moves. So in case they get injured, they need to do it in a safe way.
Yeah, that's also why it says don't try this at home. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a case of there is a reason not to try this stuff at home. It actually does hurt, a lot of it.
Yeah. I mean, another one as well, like some of the women wrestlers that I like as well, I don't just like them for their abilities. I like them because they also have like degrees in shit.
Oh yeah.
And you know, people, yeah, especially when they were divas, everyone used to just see them as little airheads, but actually they've got brains.
Right. That whole Divas era drove me up the bloody wall. And
yeah,
WWE will never admit to this, but I'm putting this out here now because I'm not buying into the shit they shovel to people. There was on about like Stephanie McMahon and Bella's changed this stuff, made this stuff happen. No, it was AJ Lee. Okay. The wife of CM Punk, which is probably another main reason why she doesn't get referred to this way. She was wrestling as a wrestler should back in the time where you still had divas.
Yes.
And eventually you also got Paige come along. So they sort of intersect as well before AJ left. So you had Paige, and Paige is very much the same kind of wrestler. Paige isn't like got degrees and stuff, but Paige is very much from a wrestling family. She was a trier, lovely person. Okay.
Yes.
AJ Lee, great wrestler. Had personal demons, overcame them. Great wrestler.
Yeah.
So I personally don't like WWE going around going, oh no, it's Stephanie McMahon and the Bellas. No, it was not.
Yeah.
Those two kick-started it. All of them made it happen. Because it's the only way anything changed like that ever will work.
Yeah.
And yes, do I think Stephanie was involved and did stuff for it? Yes, of course she did, because she had to do.
Yeah.
But by no means was she like the revolutionary leader.
No. But she just gets to take all the credit because she's Vince's daughter.
Yeah. Also, AJ Lee is responsible for one of the best promo lines I've ever heard.
Which one?
It was one that was said to her Bella.
Okay.
You may be familiar with this one or not. Talent is not sexually transmitted.
I'm guessing that is when Nikki was seeing John.
Yeah. Bear in mind, this was on WWE television as well. Bear in mind the time period this would have been. This is like PG era as well. Divas, and this is AJ Lee saying this to Nikki Bella. In fact, she said it to Brie as well, because Brie at the time was also seeing Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that line. But I thought AJ was great. I thought AJ was also a great promo, which is also a very underrated thing for a lot of women wrestlers.
I do agree with that.
Yeah. I like Paige as a wrestler, but Paige's promo skills are nowhere near up to AJ's, but that's not Paige's fault. AJ's just a very good talker.
Yeah. What is she even up to nowadays, Paige?
Twitch streaming, last I heard. She's actually still under contract to WWE. But she can't wrestle because she's got an injury.
Yeah, because I remember she had a neck injury, didn't she?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a career-ending one, but apparently she's just trying to get back. And good luck to her.
I mean, she had the same neck surgeon as Edge, so... And Edge has come back from the exact same injury.
It took him 7 years to come back. And guess what happened then? His tag partner, he fucked off to AEW. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And gets more airtime and is more respected as a result, weirdly.
Yes.
There we go. It's kind of funny because a lot of people, and this includes Vince McMahon, really didn't rate Christian Cage at all. Christian, WWE fans would know. And I think you people, all of you people who think that way, really missed something there. Okay? In every scenario, whether it's in a singles match or a tag match, there's always one person who has to uphold everything and make sure everything's working. And then you have the flashy one who does all the fun stuff. Look at the Hardys and look at Edge and Christian. We know who does all the flashy stuff for the Hardys. That's very easy.
Yeah.
And Edge Christian, it was Edge. Which leaves Matt and Christian to do all the solid, reliable work to make the other guys look great.
And they are very good at their jobs.
Yeah. So people who think, oh, Christian's not that good. Well, I hate to break it to you. Christian's also a multiple-time world champion too. So
yeah. It just proves that he's good in solos and he is also good in a tag.
Yeah. He just might not be as flashy as Edge or Jeff Hardy, but guess what? Not every wrestler has to be.
Yeah.
Because you have different types of wrestlers. That's what you have out there. For example, obviously it's not a WWE thing, but sorry, I'm just going to veer off because obviously this is a special show, so why not? One of my favorite wrestlers at the moment is Darby Allin, which is an AEW guy. And Darby Allin is psychotic, is probably the best way of putting it.
Nice.
The man has no concept of, ouch, this is going to hurt.
Fair enough.
Basically, outside of The Undertaker, Darby Allin had a casket match recently. And it's the first casket match I've ever seen without The Undertaker in.
All right.
Okay. Darby won the match, but decided, oh no, that's not enough. He jumped backwards into the coffin with the guy still inside the coffin because he could. Not because he had to, but because he could, and he knew it'd look cool.
Oh. Okay, then.
This is Darby Allin.
I like the sounds of him.
Right. This is the thing. You have your flash fancy wrestlers, and this would be Darby as well, like the Hardys, like Matt Jeff Hardy, like Christian. But then you have your sort of reliable ones.
Yeah.
Who will go about unnoticed but are equally as valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the women's wrestlers, for example. Let's look at the current ones. Natalya.
Yes.
Very underrated. Solid, reliable, great wrestler.
Yeah.
Would anybody probably pick her as a favorite wrestler? Probably not. But ultimately, if you need to have a match with a solid, reliable female worker, I would pick Natalya.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And because let's face it, you're not picking Nia Jax.
I don't fancy being thrown through a table.
Right. But here's the thing. If Natalya put you through a table, do you think you'd get her doing it? No.
Oh, I would be blessed.
Yeah, I'd be, okay, Natalya, which one would you like to use?
I will lay down on it for you and I will polish it.
How can I make this work better for you?
Yes.
Which is the respect you get for somebody who is talented and gifted at what they do. Also, lineage.
Yes.
You know, she's a Hart descendant. Yeah, people are going to say, but she's not Jim Neidhart's, though. She's not. Yeah, Jim Neidhart's wife was a Hart. So, yeah, it counts. So, she counts. She is part of it.
Yeah.
But she's not a man. Yeah, fuck off, right?
End of discussion.
Yeah, is my response to that one. So, and then of course you've got your fancy women's wrestlers such as Sasha. Let's go with Sasha. Because Sasha's dangerous as hell and hurts herself regularly by doing weird moves she probably shouldn't do. Is she entertaining to watch? Yes. Would you want to have a match with her, knowing you'd be safe? No. Would it be fun to be in? Would it be fun to watch? Yes. Would it be fun as a one-off to do? Probably. Would you want to have regular matches against her? No. If you put in the same situation Natalya, We have a year-long program to do with Natalia. Would you do it? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because I have no issue with the fact that I know Natalia will not injure me, and I know she'll take care of me, and she is safe and good at what she does.
Yeah, she's been in the industry for a very long time as well.
Yeah. Not a knock on Sasha. I'm not saying she's bad or anything, but she's not as safe at working as Natalia. Different styles.
But she's a bit safer than Nia Jax.
Darby Allin's safer than Nia Jax. Jeff Hardy is safer than Nia Jax. I mean, Jeff Hardy on drugs.
Okay. I'm pretty sure driving a truck without a seatbelt and ramming into a wall would be safer.
Then Jeff Hardy or Nia Jax?
Nia Jax.
Yeah. Because she's not like most girls. She's gonna cripple you.
Oh, God. My ribcage would be flattened.
Okay. Who's more dangerous, Yokozuna or Nia Jax?
I'm going to go with Nia Jax.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you know how many people ever got hurt by Yokozuna doing that bonsai drop he used to do?
Not many.
0. That man took care of everyone. And
Good.
being that big, that's difficult.
Yeah.
But he did. You would never know there was that much weight on you. He was as light as a feather when he dropped on you. This is something that's been said by everyone who's ever taken that move from him. The same cannot be said for Nia Jax.
No, she puts all of her fucking weight onto you and your ribcage will bust.
Just ask the flexible wife of a certain AEW champion.
A flexible bendy wife.
Yeah.
Does he still have the accent?
Oh, he speaks normally, as in how he normally speaks, which is with the accent. That is his normal voice.
Oh.
But the thing is, right, he's the TNA champion, which is the other belt AEW has as a singles belt. It's custom made, so it's Bulgarian colours.
Nice.
It looks good, it does. Because each champion seems to get their own different version of this belt.
Well, that's good.
Because Brody Lee had it at one point, so it was purple for the Dark Order colours, which is what they would have had. You had Cody's version, which was like the normal standard version. Then you had Darby Allin's version, which was sort of really fancy for some reason. Don't know why, it just was. But now you've got Miro's, which is the Bulgarian colours.
That's really cool. I'm imagining they get to keep them.
The custom ones, I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Although the very, very first original TNA Championship is actually now and forever will be the property of Brody Lee Jr.
Yes.
It was given to him as a present following the memorial for his father by the AEW owner, Tony Khan.
Nice.
So, yeah. And I'll say even to the WWE fans, I challenge you to watch that AEW show, which is the memorial to John Huber, and don't cry. You're going to find it very hard. I made it because I'm not that kind of person, but if you're anyway weepy, you're going to bawl, especially when it comes to the very end of the program where it's Huber's wife and his kids.
Yeah.
Even the wrestlers were bawling at various points throughout the program. That tells you that's how emotional it was. But it's also, on a serious note, if you're going to pay respect to somebody who's no longer with us in that kind of fashion for a wrestling show, this is probably one of the best ones I've ever seen for it.
Yeah.
So, but let's see. Other things to ask our resident idiot in return. Obviously, when I asked you earlier about things to make you watch wrestling again, obviously, a lot of you seem to be very WWE in nature. Have you seen any of the other products out there? And yes, I know it's a WWE show, but I don't care. So.
I did try to watch AEW. And I don't know. I think because I had a long day at college that day, so it was my last day and I actually signed all the paperwork. I kind of just fell asleep and I just haven't had a moment to just sit and chill and watch it since.
That's fair enough.
But I'm hoping to get into AEW because one, there are quite a few of my favorite wrestlers from WWE on there, and now from what you've been telling me about AEW, they're being used correctly. So
yeah, there's a very easy access way for people who are interested. They have YouTube shows, and these are like actual shows. They're not just like, oh, we'll put this clip on here like WWE would do Raw clips. AEW has their own YouTube shows they show specifically for YouTube, which is Dark and Dark Elevation.
Nice.
So, Dark itself is meant for basically the up-and-comers, people who are like independent wrestlers. Sometimes they'll get to face like full-time big names. Sometimes it'll just be AEW's lower list people who just need practice and stuff. But there are some good stuff on it. And then you've got Elevation, which is very much the guys who don't get to appear on Dynamite regularly will appear on there. But you'll also get some of the bigger names on there as well. The other week, Sting was on there with Darby Allin, for example.
Yeah.
So you do get the big names on those shows. And Elevation, for people who are interested, is commentated by Tony Schiavone, and people who are WWE fans will know as Paul White. Yeah, Big Show's the colour commentator for that show.
Nice.
And Dark itself is commentated by a guy called Excalibur, which is AEW's other commentator, and his co-commentator is Taz.
Nice. Nice.
I know. It gets better, though, for people who are interested. There's going to be another proper cable show for AEW coming in August, which is called Rampage. The co-commentator for that is Mark Henry.
Watching that.
So, yeah. The normal AEW Dynamite show, for the people who aren't aware, is Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. And for people of WCW and WWE older vintages, you'll know who both of those two people are. And independent and indie fans will know who Excalibur is. So that's how to capture a big market right there. Because it's the voice of your childhood in one form or another.
Yeah, I mean, JR was on commentary with JBL and Michael Cole when I was watching WWE as a kid. So, yeah. And obviously I grew up with The Big Show as well, and Mark Henry. And I believe I saw a little bit of Taz.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah. Because Taz did SmackDown commentary for a long time, so yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, it's seeing familiar childhood faces. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, you will get a few of them in there. There'll be people who'll be familiar with WWE fans as well. Sting, Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Christian's there, of course, now. Moxley.
Yeah. One of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah, Moxley, whose entrance thing nowadays is actually Wild Thing.
Nice.
The actual song, Wild Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the owner of AEW went, oh, I'm just going to buy you that. There's a very interesting. Somebody I suggest you probably should check out would be Jungle Boy.
Okay.
He's part of a three-man team called Jurassic Express, but Jungle Boy is Luke Perry's son, as in the guy who was in Riverdale.
Yeah.
He has a brought forth theme as well, which is Jungle Life. It's one of these things, you'll know the song when you hear it. It's a very much a sing-along thing. The crowd all join on it. He's very much oh, we only look pretty. But he is very talented. Yeah. But for those of you who want a proper heel scumbag to hate, MJF all day long.
Nice.
Just to give you a vague idea, he's better than you, and you know it.
So massive ego.
That is literally what he says to people.
Massive ego. Gotcha.
Yeah. He's currently feuding with Jericho, which is the other former WWE guy I forgot to mention.
See, I liked the feud with Ambrose and Jericho in WWE. I did love that.
They've had one in AEW as well.
Okay, I'm going to YouTube that.
You'd have to go back through the archives to find that one. The actual match itself happened on a pay-per-view, which I actually have the pay-per-view, so at some point you can watch that.
Yeah.
So
I'll be seeing you soon.
So, but there's a bunch of other stuff. But obviously, that's AEW. For those of you out there as well, a lot of these other promotions are also doing working stuff with each other. New Japan, Impact, AEW, NWA. They're all working together in like a collaborative relationship where people are sharing talent and people going backwards and forwards.
I think that could be partly down to the pandemic being what it is.
It's actually down to the fact that Tony Khan likes to work with other people to make his stuff better. For example, the AEW champion at the moment is Kenny Omega. He is also the Impact champion.
Oh.
He is the Mexico AAA Mega champion.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've got things going with AAA down in Mexico.
Nice. Okay, I respect that.
So, and I like this stuff. Plus, see, they got involved with New Japan as well, so that's always going to be fun stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So, if you want someone to watch just for fun and giggles, if you just want to see people get hurt, Lance Archer.
Okay, I like seeing people get hurt.
His song counts down, and the song itself, it has like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown. It hits 0.
Yeah.
And the main lyrics of the song is "Everybody dies."
Nice. Okay. That's me without my coffee. I like that.
Yeah. He beats people up badly, generally. Sometimes, even on the way to the ring, he'll just grab random people and beat them up.
Okay, then.
And if it doesn't sound even just good enough as it is, he's managed by Jake the Snake Roberts.
Huh. That's actually quite cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and find some time to watch AEW.
Yeah. Not last week, but the week before, he had a Texas Death Match against Moxley, did Archer, for the IWGP United States title, and it was fun.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Nice.
But definitely worth checking out. I mean, I would check out a lot of these promotions as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would also say if you are a WWE person who just wants to stick with WWE, absolutely fine. I would never tell anyone not to watch it. That's your choice. But I like to tell people these are your options out there. And obviously, Stephanie is basically wrestling neutral, you should say, because she's not really watching anything.
I mean,
so this is where you give Stephanie options of what's out there.
Yeah. I mean, with me, when I was younger, I tried to get into TNA, and it just did not work out for me.
That sounds like every teenage boy at that point in time.
Yeah.
All of them tried getting into TNA.
But,
the joke is because originally it actually stood for TNA, as in literally the promotion stood for tits and ass as well.
Yeah.
I'll explain why sometime, but yeah.
But no,
it later became total non-stop action wrestling, but I'll explain why it was originally tits and ass at some point.
Nice. But so obviously this was when I was about 13.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I couldn't get myself into it, and I tried watching New Japan as well, and I couldn't get myself into it. But now WWE is just kind of driving me away a lot further and a lot faster. So I'm now, because I want to get back into watching the wrestling because I do miss it, but I don't want some piddly ass show where it's just like either constant squash matches or they put two amazing people that they should be making thrive together just to make one of them fall down. I'm not wanting that. I'm wanting stability.
What I would say to you then is obviously with AEW shows on YouTube, Dark is sometimes you do have squash matches like that. I'm not going to lie, because that's just what Dark's there for, because you will have independent talent who are up against big time wrestlers. However, if you check out Elevation, it tends to be much more competitive because those tend to be much more on the level with each other. Also, it tends to be a shorter show.
Okay.
because Elevation's usually about an hour and a half at most. Dark can be anywhere from like an hour to 3 hours, depending on what they've got.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but you don't. But the continuity-wise, you don't have to watch Dark. It's there if you want to watch it. But the results from Elevation and Dark do matter because wins and losses matter in AEW because that's how their ranking system works. So who gets title shots? So
that's
just
pretty
bear in
cool.
mind. But yeah, Elevation's like an hour or so usually, and you tend to have some fairly decent matches on it, which does help.
Yeah.
It can work out very well. There'll be AEW fans saying, "Tell her about Hangman Page and Dark Order." I'm sure she can find that stuff on her own. There's enough things on the internet you'll be able to find that. Trust me.
Yes.
So it very much is a thing. Besides, she's still got a Jeff Hardy video to watch of him being drugged out of his face before you do anything else. So,
and I'm also being summoned to talk to a friend of mine, so I am going to have to shoot off in a couple of minutes.
Ooh, now is it Jeff Hardy on drugs?
No, but that'll be after.
No, I meant is it Jeff Hardy on drugs who's summoning you because he needs more drugs?
No.
Yeah, that's fair enough. No, to be fair, let's be fair to Jeff. Jeff has managed to clean himself up, and good for Jeff.
Yes.
Right. Probably last thing then before we scoot. Do you have any particular comments or questions about what is going on?
When are WWE going to get a better creative team?
When Vince dies.
Who's going to poison Vince?
With a lethal dose of poison. It's my best Vince McMahon line, and I've still got a sore throat. So
Yeah.
I've had the flu, people, just so you're aware it's not COVID. But in all honesty, maybe Vince doesn't have to die, but Vince needs to be out of the creative loop for this to really change at all.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, no matter what the writing team or the creative team come up with, it still has to go through Vince.
Yeah, so they could come up with some banging ideas, but then having Vince just go, no, let's do this. And it's absolute dog shit. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure my dog's asshole could come out with better creative storylines than Vince.
Look at it this way. I'll explain it to you this way, right? You could have like 7 thoughts in your brain, right? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you could randomly go, oh, I like that one. Despite the fact it's the most stupid, dumb thought you'll have, and it's the one that will end up getting you burnt or electrocuted.
Yes.
But that's the thought you picked because you like to look at it, because it was all pretty and shiny.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how Vince and creative works.
Yeah.
And once he's decided on that, he's not changing his mind, despite the fact it's bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. A lot of the other companies outside WWE allow their talent a lot more say in their creative.
Okay.
Also, a lot of them. So it's going to sound like the AEW Shield show, but it really isn't meant to be. AEW talent are given ball points to their promos. That's it. Everything else, anything they say on their promos is pretty much up to them.
Mm.
And I think promos work better that way. As long as you just give them an idea of where you need to go and what you want, let them do it themselves. To be fair, Impact have a similar philosophy as well.
That's good.
New Japan has always been that way because that's just New Japan.
Mm.
And I don't think Suzuki's been told anything by anyone.
No.
So, also, I'm not really sure anyone's going to say anything to Archer either, but there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, really. So, but that's the real thing with WWE, I think, as far as creative goes. It's because why Vince is involved, unless something major happens to change the way Vince thinks about stuff, is not changing.
Mm. Yeah.
In all honesty.
Yes. Which is a shame, but you win some.
It is. It is because I would like to see them do better, definitely.
Yeah.
But in the words of CM Punk, this is probably a good way to finish this off. This company might be better when Vince McMahon is dead, but it'll be taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it'll be better. It just means it'll be different.
Yeah.
And different isn't always better. Just saying. Either or maybe, to be fair. But be careful what you wish for, is what I'd say to some people. Because sometimes you don't get what you want.
Yeah.
So. Pardon me.
Yikes.
I think that's Jeff Hardy getting revenge for my drugs jokes.
He's come to tickle your fruit.
He's trying to give me no more words.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm going to end up listening to that theme song at some point this evening.
And doing this, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
The amount of teasing I did to Aaron the other week when they brought that song back for Jeff Hardy, because that's what his theme tune is now, because they're going back his normal batch song as opposed to the Hardy one. And he's like, well, this is Jeff's original theme. I went, no, it isn't. Because it wasn't. The Hardy theme is his original theme, but he's like, well, this is the one I remember him. That's not his original one, though.
Yeah, no.
But, yeah, it's all good fun. But now we're going to obviously let you go. But thank you very much for obviously turning up this week, Steph. It was always fun to have you.
It's all right. Thank you for having me.
No problem. But what we are going to do is plug Stephanie.
Hey, hello, yes, check, no, other way,
Yeah, other way.
Yep, there you go, check out my work and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, when Stephanie is up and running again with the lovely
DD. Yes. That should hopefully be up by latest end of September. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, they will be doing a whole bunch of fun stuff.
Yes, I will go into detail about it on my show and any other shows that I'm on that I get plugged in. So,
yeah. So keep an eye out for that stuff, people. Let's see. We have our Twitter, our Insta, the Patreon, which of course works for everybody, including Steph's show, which you can see right there as one of the top ones there, next to 50/50 Booking. Ta-da! This is always good fun. Let's see. Also, mine, because why not? This is my work account, so you guys can go follow that and do some fun stuff. That would be much appreciated. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for these things. So, with that being said, Stephanie,
yes,
you're fired.
Sweet. Wouldn't be the first.
We wish you the best on your future endeavors.
Thank you. Yes, you guys will have your regular co-host back.
Yeah, obviously, our viewers get the joke, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
And with that one, people, I'll see you
Bye.